Hello, I'm Colin Green, and you are listening to Spike Pit. Alright then folks, I've decided to throw caution to the wind with this episode. I know I've mentioned in the past that I record episodes of play, or sessions I should say, at the table with our home group when we're face to face, and it's as a record of what went on really, and a bit of a diagnostic tool. When I'm DMing, I can pick up things, and I find I miss a lot that goes on in a session when I'm DMing, and I listen back. It's just like another perspective on the game, a kind of neutral observer. And in a recent session, I thought we got some content suitable for release. When I say suitable, I use that word loosely. This is not a polished Grizzly Peaks production. This is just a kind of dictaphone type digital recorder sat on the table and running. It's unedited, it's raw, it's a guerrilla actual play, in keeping with the tradition that is the Anchor podcast. Hope you enjoy. So Curse of Strahd session 4 last week?
5 last week.
So
6 today.
6 today?
Because it's 5 last week, wasn't it?
I thought it was 4 last week, 5 this week. I'm going with that. So I think it's session 5, and in session 4 we're just recovered. Session 6. All right, I stand corrected. So we had just recovered from the kind of being jumped by the wolves and made our way to Vallaki. That's the pronunciation. I think we'll get pronunciation that I think we're going with. And we found Vallaki to be quite a refreshing improvement over Barovia, with its kind of really dour population and everybody under the I'm imagining it's quite a lot to do with the proximity of Castle Ravenloft overlooking them. But Vallaki is just Vallaki.
Valakia.
You say Vallaki, I say Vallaki.
Vallaki.
And we're that little bit further away from the castle and our man Strahd, who we've met.
It's a weird flex,
and
isn't it?
not in a massive rush to meet him again. But we are settled in at the, what was the name of the inn?
Blue Water
Inn, yeah.
The Blue Water Inn, which we found to be most agreeable.
This is the barkeep and his family there. His two sons, his missus.
Pretty cool artwork.
Fancy that. That's the wagon that you'll come to in a minute.
Yeah, so there seems to be this ongoing theme of wolves in the area. So there was wolves on pikes lining the road as we approached, and then inside the inn we've got loads of like wolf heads up mounted on the walls. And we Biff, my character, he met up and chatted with a couple of local hunters. They looked a little bit alarmed that we might be muscling in on their wolf meat operation, because we'd Gut had bought Gut, our big ogre guy. Oh yeah, they're pretty mean looking. I know a guy who looks a bit like him at the back.
From Hobbit.
Yeah. Another guy that looks a bit like him. So Gut, our ogre friend, he was carting around a big wolf and sold that. Well, we bartered it. I thought that was quite good actually, to do a bit of barter in the game.
We
that
didn't
made
really
a change.
barter it, did we? They just kind of said, well, if you give us the wolf.
Yeah, that is a barter, isn't it? You give us the wolves.
I thought a barter was when you try and change the deal. Yeah.
It became apparent.
No, that's haggling.
Food that wolf steaks was seen to be quite popular.
Yeah, so
were they actually any good?
So the bill of fare was basically wolf and wolf, wasn't it? You know, a range of dishes.
Wolf and chips, wolf and beans, wolf and eggs.
It's like the equivalent of Nando's.
Double wolf,
but wolf.
Double wolf and wolf. do you want a side order a wolf with that wolf? So when I say barter there, Sonny, you're thinking of haggling. Haggling's when you kind of...
I thought they were the same thing.
Bartering, that's where we swapped the wolf for whatever it was, an extra night's stay, weren't it?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not a trade?
Yeah, but barter is trade without money. It's where you don't change hands, money doesn't change hands, you barter goods and services. So they, after chatting with them, they revealed they knew their way around and were prepared to act in a capacity as guides. So we left it that it's like a manor or something, some kind of old manor house that sounded like it stacked up with our Tarot deck reading.
Well, it was about the lair of the dragon, wasn't it?
Yeah, the lair of the dragon, and it turns out
of a dragon, didn't it?
Yeah, it's
outside.
It sounded
it was also
like
the lair of the dragon, because he was like the leader of the paladins.
Yeah, exactly. So we think that could be like a haunted mansion because this guy who we think is a potential ally of ours is like a ghostly paladin, and he lives in the lair of the dragon, and we think this dragon statue might be as close as we can get to that. And we reckon that's about half a day there, half a day back. Obviously, that's quite tight, and if you run into trouble there, you might end up getting stuck overnight, so it might be better to kind of plan on it being a 2-day trip with an overnight stay at the manor. But obviously we don't know what we're going to find there yet. The other thing we did is staying in the Blue Water Inn is like this half-elf who, and I can't remember why we know this, but there's a half-elf spotted driving the caravan of the Rudolf von Richthofen, who Sion, your character, Diz, who he's trying to find him. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lead on him, and we went and had a look, and we found his wagon at a goods yard.
Wait, which one was Richthofen? Was Richthofen...
Richthoven's the one with the kind of heavy-duty carnival wagon thing.
I know, but there's which one? Because there's the half-elf.
The half-elf is the driver.
And
we
spotted... Is he Richthofen, or is the other one Richthofen?
Well, we don't know for certain.
No, but somebody mentioned, like, Richtavo's circus or something like that.
Who's he looking for, Richthofen or Richtavo?
I'm looking for Rudolf von Richten.
Is it von Richten?
Yeah.
Not von Richthofen?
No.
Oh, well, I've been getting his name wrong.
He's either changed his name or the other guys...
Richtavo was close enough for me to be suspicious. But so we went and checked it. I think
the driver's Richtavo and the dude he's looking for is Richtov.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's gone into hiding, so he could have easily changed his name.
So
yeah, I know, but I don't think the half elf is.
I went over the fence of the goods yard, had a peek in there, and there was some kind of creature in there.
Secured in the wagon.
And the description was a bit clawy and a bit maybe feline, but I'm wondering if that might also be potentially lupine, because it's just kind of got, to me, it's got shape changer written all over it.
Everything in this world is wolves.
You know, and it's kind of gothic horror, and there's lots of wolves, and I wonder if it might actually be lupine and perhaps a werewolf, or failing that, some kind of were-cat type thing.
Everyone even looks like a wolf in this place.
Or there is the possibility that it's just some creature that's left there to guard the wagon.
He's a monster hunter, so...
There is that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
He is, so he is a monster hunter. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah, that's what everyone's told us in investigations, that he was a well-known monster hunter that had disappeared. So
that's like 2 strands. The third strand that we've got is this. Since we've been here, we've been drinking all this pretty nice red wine, and it turns out now that our friend the innkeeper is most alarmed because his supply is running out, and he's got a delivery that's overdue by, was it a week or a month?
About 3 weeks. It's
getting on for a month. Yeah. That's right. And they reckon, what was it? Wizards of Wine.
I think it's the Wizards Winery, isn't it?
Wizards Winery, something like that.
It's the Wizards of Wine.
The Wizards of Wine. I think it might be the Wizards of Wine.
The Wizards of Wine.
Yeah.
The Wizards of Wine's Winery.
That's it.
Yeah. The Wizards of Wine Winery. God dear, www.
This place should be called like Wolves and Wine or something.
So everybody's like, it's it seems like it's one of the few things that they get to look forward to. So they're all a little bit alarmed about that. And well, this place being what it is, clearly something untoward has gone on. Otherwise, the wine would be here. So it sounds like a job for the adventurers. And that's about where we left it. I think we turned in for the night with...
No, I think you were heading onto the church, I think, was your next...
Oh, yeah, so the church.
This is the following day. You got up, you had breakfast, you met this half-elf, and he was sort of writing away in his book. He sort of made a point of closing it when you came over. And,
okay.
Yeah, and then he disappeared off his room.
If I remember rightly, the plan was to sort of scope out this wagon tonight, because the old man that owns the where it's parked up, that
Goods Yard place.
Goods Yard, whatever it's called, yeah. He said that someone visits the wagon every night, so we're looking to scope it out to see what happens.
We were going back, were we?
And then we can, after he's been to the wagon, potentially speak to the person and find out more about what's going on and try and get to the bottom of that. But I think during the day we were going to visit the church and see if they had anything they could give us, any information.
Okay.
And then the only other thing is the festival is due in 3 days.
I forgot about that as well. And this is our colourful character, the Baron. The guy.
Yeah.
I don't think you've actually seen him yet.
No. I'm just kind of assuming he's a
always
colourful
smile
character.
when in his presence.
There's a bigger picture of your fellas, the scouts you were talking to.
Was it the hunters or the barman that said always smile in the Baron's presence?
I think it was the...
Yeah,
Was it the hunters?
Yeah, I think anyone you've spoken to about him will have gone, yeah, try and keep your cheer up when you're around him. He gets a bit upset when people are down in the dumps. You'll end up in the stocks if you're a sad person.
I'm thinking he's got one of these kind of swingy personalities, because weren't they intimating that he was doing... Like, one thing was all the rage one week, and then the next week there was some other...
Festivals every week, yeah.
Festivals every week, and sort of like flights of fantasy. And
So they just finished the Wolf Festival when we arrived.
That's
And
right.
that's why they were taking down posters and why there were so many wolf heads on sticks and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, I can't remember what the new festival was called.
Festival of something.
Yeah, but I don't know what the sort of...
The theme.
Yeah, the theme was. I can't remember what it
I
was.
think it was about wolves.
I just
It was
wrote down...
Festival of the Morning Lord, the new one.
That's it.
Yeah,
Festival of the Morning Lord. And we think this Morning Lord is, is a bit of another ongoing theme that keeps cropping up. We keep hearing about him. Now, it seems like that was the religion that the old priest back in Barovia was all about.
Yeah, sun related.
And at one stage, it did seem like the sun was trying to break through the clouds. You remember that?
Yeah, whenever he was doing any of his
funeral, when he was
ceremonies.
doing his ceremonies, yeah.
But it weren't strong enough to break through properly, but just a few minutes of temporary...
I think it's significant, though, that Morning Lord thing. I think that's a significant theme that we...
The people back in the village of Barovia were saying that... what's the name of the night person?
The night...
The god of... Because they've got
the night mother, I think it is.
the night mother. The mother of night or something. But they said that it was like she was punishing them.
Oh, right.
Well, that's what they claimed. Yeah, that's what they believe. But no one's old enough to remember except Strahd.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's 700 or 800 years ongoing, and
Right.
no one can quite remember. They believe they've done something wrong, but no one can remember if they actually did or they didn't.
So it's way back.
Yeah.
It's all rumours by that point, isn't it? It's just passed down.
Yeah.
Rumours and things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to the church.
Yeah, unless we had anything else.
No.
Specifically
We was
planned,
going to
I
go
don't
there
think so.
straight away, weren't we? But
It was a bit late.
it was a bit late.
So what are you going to do about
And that's the other thing. Not everybody locks up everything quite as tight, and it don't look like the...
People
I think
are
they all
out
lock
after
up,
dusk,
but they don't.
Yeah, they lock up, but they
And all hide.
they don't all hide, and we haven't got this situation of like zombies and nastiness just
There
being...
was a potential sort of crows or birds or something flying over during the night.
Oh, in the night?
Ravens, you thought you had them like
tell.
I mean, they're probably like
Spies!
Yeah, spies.
Yeah, so he may still have his spies out.
Oh, yeah, you can guarantee that.
Just to clarify where you've been, the inn's...
In the centre there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the red one there. That's the inn. Well, that little square of things, I believe.
This is
Right in the centre.
That's the... same way around. It'd be easier for me. The church is back up this. This is to the west, near the west gate.
Yeah.
And the yard is this this is the yard there, where the wagons camped up.
Yeah.
So basically all spread out quite evenly.
Yeah.
Across
And the guy who runs that goods yard was another one of these price gouging Herberts, wasn't he? That's
there was a separate store. Oh no, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
yeah,
Yeah,
5 times the going rate for everything you
store
want.
yards. Yeah.
Is there anywhere in this place that ain't a joke?
Price gouging's brutal in Barovia.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's very hard to get stuff from outside of Barovia.
It sells items in the handbook,
like
adventuring gear, the player's handbook, that has a price of 25 gold pieces or less, but 5 times the price.
I suppose the Vistani bring that stuff in if you can't be like...
Yeah, the only ones.
Yeah,
that
we
can
should
come and
start a
go.
business.
Maybe they've got some sort of like
I don't
trade
think we can come and go either.
No, but
Trade
they make
monopoly.
sure-
Without 'em.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah.
So
But you do know that the Baron won't let the Vistani and the Valaki.
that's right.
So we could-
Oh, yes, yeah, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they're camped outside, didn't they?
Yeah,
Some
there's
of
a
them.
camp outside. I don't think it's actually on.
Because these are little buildings outside. They're not the camp, are they?
It did say each end there was some sort of abandoned cottages and stuff.
Oh, that's just them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the camp's on here. No.
I should have described that on the way in, actually. I say there's sort of a few abandoned buildings outside the gates, obviously, because no one will stay in if they're outside the
So
gates.
where was the camp of the Vistani?
What,
Do you know which side it was?
It's,
Like
off,
east, west?
it's out the west gate.
Oh, right. So it's
Yeah.
over here somewhere. Okay, so we haven't seen them yet.
No.
Did the hunters give us a rough direction for this old manor?
They said it was sort of...
So they're
Damn
south.
it was sort of southwest.
Yeah. Is it? Down
Yeah,
there
something
somewhere,
like
maybe?
there, isn't it?
Where are we? There. Yeah, it might be. Is it that thing?
Down the Luna River, maybe.
What?
There's a big building there.
Yeah, there's also some sort of a ruin.
I
It looks
reckon it's a good... Along the road, it's a 2-hour hike, looking at this now.
Because that sort of follows the road almost.
Do you think that's 2 hours, maybe?
Well, you've got these roads go round, don't they? They don't go straight.
that-
2 hours
to
along the
there
road,
was
yeah.
like-
I mean, you can't describe this as being along the road, can you?
No.
Yeah, that seems likely, doesn't it?
This is Mark's map, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're still borrowing.
You just nicked his map.
Well, he's here now, isn't he? So he don't.
You didn't see them at breakfast either. They're obviously staying up
We
in
could
their
just
room,
ditch
because
them
you sort of ate and headed straight out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't come down.
We can kind
Well,
of
they
just leave
seemed
them
a
there.
lot more content, didn't they?
Yeah,
They're
Ismark
chilling out.
seems visibly relaxed.
Probably going to have a good night's sleep and probably sleep
Irina
in
still
and stuff.
seems a bit
Distant?
not what to make of it all. Like she still's not quite aware of what's going on. You know.
There was also the noticeable fact that the wolves wouldn't attack her.
Oh, yeah, and
during
she
the
got...
attack on the road.
You managed to fend off that kind of ensorcelment that someone had tried
Oh,
to
yeah, they might.
charm her,
yeah,
hadn't they?
But the wolves, when they attacked us, they wouldn't attack her. They only attacked us.
Well, I
Even
think
when
they
she
did
attacked-
attack her, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
No, they just...
I'll tell you
they
when we finished up,
refused.
because I remember the passage now. You actually made it to the front of the church. That's where we stopped.
Oh, yeah, with the steps
Yeah,
up to
the slouching
front door.
centuries-old stone church is a bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracked stained glass windows depicting pious saints. A fence of wrought iron encloses a garden of gravestones next to the church. A very thin mist creeps among the graves.
Another super inviting location.
Yep.
Don't know why we don't come in more often.
It's our 5 stars.
So this one has got like a pair of like lanterns hanging up, burning brightly, even though it's stayed as bright as it's going to get.
Yeah.
You know, it's like England, to be honest. At this time of year, if the sun breaks through, you're having a good day.
No cheery bell ringing and choristers to welcome us with their songs.
You notice there's people
hymns.
in and out here. There doesn't seem to be any sort of staying away from the church. People in and out.
Are we seeing some like Morning Lord iconography at all?
Yeah, the doors have got like the sun shape on it. So
sun-shaped door knockers.
So when you open it, it's like half the sun, I guess. But you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well, venture inside. I think.
Yeah.
You head up. There's as you're going in, some sort of villagers will come out and they sort of leave the door for you and just sort of wait. They seem happy, and they head off. Well, thank you, Father. Thank you. They head off down the steps.
I can imagine us, like myself and Gut, just like looking at Sion, waiting for him to make the first move into the church.
It's pretty much the basement isn't there.
After you, Sion. After you.
They say to use the same map basically. Just imagine it's all smashed up. It's all nice and tidy and
Imagine it's not
well lit,
abandoned.
Yeah. So you come in the doors and obviously these rooms are here as well.
Yeah.
But everything's in a much better state of affairs.
And hopefully nothing nasty lurking in the basement this time.
But it did say there's no basement in this place.
Oh, it's actually not there.
Yeah, it's actually not there. I was looking for the map and I realised I remembered reading it says use the same map as the previous one.
But it's,
you see there's... Well, it's quite busy in here actually. It's about 13 people all sat on the pews.
13?
Yeah. And there's a priest, he appears to have finished. He's closing his book and he's coming down to talk to some of the congregation and patting them on the back. And everyone seems quite happy in here. There's more people thanking him and, thank you, Father.
I think we should probably loiter at the back, Gut. I don't want you scaring the locals,
Scaring, aren't they?
They're not used to such sights.
This young lad here is...
Keanu Reeves.
back in his Bill and Ted days. He's going round with a large wooden bowl and people are dropping a couple of coppers in.
Oh, don't look at us.
Thank you, morning, Lord bless you.
We should empty it out.
Governor. And
what do they do with this money?
And he sort of looks up at you and he puts the dish down when no worries it being stolen. He puts it on a little desk table and he goes, have you come to see the Father?
We're travelling through, and it would be nice to speak to him if he's got a moment.
He's straight away. He's looking at you and your outlandish religious symbols. And he's, I'm the altar boy. I'm Milivoj. I'll take you straight to see him. And he does sort of take a look at Gut, and
it's just hard not to take a look at Gut.
Yeah, he would have filled the double door as he came in.
Pretty much.
So it's a bit of an eye opener, and he's. Come along, and I'll take you. And he seems quite enthusiastic.
Oh, that's makes a change. Father, guests from out of town.
Sion, these are the name.
Sion to see you, Father. He's quite, new faces obviously is a bit of a thing in these places,
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's a man in the cloth, Father, and he's waving you on. Then he looks up. What are Gut and Biff doing? Are they hanging around?
Just
Gut
hanging back a little bit, but judging by that reaction, he seemed quite okay with things.
Gut just kind of obliviously just follows Sion.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, he just sort of stomps along.
I just sort of shrug my shoulders in and follow along, I guess.
Let's do a picture for this. I'm a bit disappointed.
Oh, well.
There's this... he's a middle-aged fellow, and he's like, hello, I'm Father Lucian Petrovich. Welcome.
Fine name.
And he seems especially interested in Zion again. It's a spiritual man, are you, Mr. Sion?
Yes, I am a man of religion.
Oh, good. And he says,
I'm interested to see how you run your church and if you've got much of a congregation.
As best I can, my friend, as best I can in these times. Milivoj, get him some drinks, get him some water, get some clean water. And
you're like the
young lad goes running off. You can hear him bustling around in one of these rooms. And he comes back with a pot and some sort of big wooden cups, and he's sort of hands when I got to take it like it's a shot glass sort of thing, but everyone else gets a cup.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'll glance round and I'll say, your church is certainly in much better state than where we just come from, Barovia.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be hard.
Village of Barovia.
His face clouds a little bit, not in anger or anything, but a bit of sadness.
Oh,
This is Barovia, the village, yes. To be honest, we don't get many people travelling this way from Barovia. Some people will sometimes chance the journey to the east, but there's little going on there. The last I heard, that the church was in a sad state.
You can say that again.
It's some 6 months back.
It's virtually in ruins. It's
You are
virtually in
correct.
ruins.
I would make the journey myself, but until this young man, and he sort of points at the boy, is old enough to be ordained, then I can't venture on any kind of. I'm the only priest they have here.
The priest there is broken, unfortunately.
He's a sad state. He's a
May
sad
or may not
state.
have murdered his son, but
What are you talking about, Gut? I don't know anything about such nonsense.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
Oh, have you been on them mushrooms again? You'll have to excuse my overly large friend.
Oh,
He gets a
no,
little
we
bit carried
didn't.
away with his storytelling.
Oh yes,
Don't
I
you,
forgot.
Gut?
We did not do that, did we?
Right.
Yes,
Get back
okay.
in your box.
Well, it would not surprise me in this land. Thankfully, we are not under the eyes of Castle Ravenloft.
Is that what you would attribute the malady of the village to? Sort of?
Possibly. I believe our Baron does his best to keep spirits up, and I do wonder if that might have some effect.
Well, it's a lot more pleasant here than it is over there, for sure.
You clearly haven't seen the stocks yet, my friend.
The stocks don't worry me so much as this other. I imagine you don't have ghosts parading through the streets at night here.
Another thing I've heard of. Yes.
Oh yes, it's true.
Terrible.
We've seen it with our own eyes.
He sort of frowns and shakes his head. But he says, one of my congregation, there's an older woman sat down. She's the only person that isn't sort of smiling at me. She seems quite sad.
Oh.
Her name is Wilhelmina Rikolov. Her son, the shoemaker, Udo, he's been imprisoned for speaking out against the Burgermeister, unfortunately. She's here praying that he will be set free.
Oh,
Who's the Burgermeister?
the Baron guy.
Oh.
I don't know why we're calling him the Baron.
Well, he is the Burgermeister, but he calls himself the Baron.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he's a
self-appointed
ancient
Baron.
bloodline.
Self-proclaimed Baron.
The Burgomaster of Barovia was unfortunately attacked during the night.
Oh, yeah.
Passed away just a couple of days ago.
Alas, yes.
Lord,
He seemed,
Lord bless him. He sort of does a little sort of pointed sun thing.
by all accounts, he was quite a stout fellow that was doing all right, really.
That's our reason for being here. We escorted his son and adopted sister, I believe, or adopted daughter, if you're saying that way. They wanted to get away from there, and we give them a new start by escorting them to here.
Well, I can't say I blame them, but who will run the village of Barovia now? If you, as you say, the son has left and the father is dead.
Well, we did bring that matter up, but unfortunately, he felt that he didn't owe them anything. Many of the people there had given up hope and were more quick to blame and point the finger and cause more problems than
another failure on the priest's part, perhaps.
Well, I mean, the list goes on. They've got buildings locked up with swarms of rats in there and restless, undead creatures banging on the walls, and they're just kind of sweeping it all under the rug.
I hope to return here,
barricading it up instead of facing up to it
in the future, and see if we can do something to.
Perhaps the people of Barovia can be of Vallaki, can be roused to help. This is troubling news. We may have to strengthen the guards on the gates to the east, perhaps. If Barovia is on the brink of collapse, then Vallaki is next in the path of Castle Ravenloft, and he does look a bit puzzled. He's like,
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Let's try and keep our spirits up while we can.
I mean, I don't know how common it is, but we believe we did in fact encounter the the shadowy lord himself. He put in an appearance whilst we was in Barovia. He does the sun thing again. The whole sun thing.
Yeah.
He seemed to get some enjoyment out of mocking us.
Yes. Playing with us.
A foul, vile creature. He does look so, we've always been protected here in the church, and he looks a bit troubled, and he's, until recently, I do have my concerns at the moment. Perhaps I could have a word with you, Simon, privately. And he says, boy, bring some bread, and perhaps our guests will be hungry.
Yes.
And put something out for the congregation that are lingering. And the boy goes off, and you can hear him immediately sort of chopping stuff up.
And I ask Gut and Biff if they can give me a couple of minutes just to speak to the priest.
Yeah,
to one side.
Sure.
I'm sure I can busy myself with putting away some of this fine bread.
It's quite rustic stuff, but it's way better than anything you saw in Barovia.
Better than what we've had recently.
He actually takes you up to his office, and he doesn't shut the door. He leaves it open. Just
his bedroom, basically.
Yeah, but no, there's actually a desk and a unit.
One of
on the left.
Yeah, sorry.
And he said, and in here you can see there is a tapestry on the wall with a big morning star printed on it, and it looks a lot cleaner and livelier.
Yeah.
Well looked after. And he says, my friend, as I say, this church has always been protected from Strahd's ministrations.
And I assume that has something to do with your good faith.
My good faith and the bones of Saint Andrew. I have concerns that they have been stolen. Not 6 days past. I continue to keep spirits up, and I haven't told anybody this.
Where were these bones put to rest? To make you think I
believe, well, they were under the altar. Under the altar. Floorboards under the altar.
And you've seen signs of disturbance and they're missing?
There was a loose floorboard. Someone had levered the floorboard up and taken the bones.
And
I worry that without the protection of St Andrew's bones, that this church will no longer become a safe place for my flock.
And have you got any ideas or any sort of leads to who may have done such a thing? It must be someone from the village or the town.
I told the only person I told about the bones was the altar boy.
Let's go. The altar boy is.
He was quite fearful some time ago,
but he's been here many.
He's been here since he was a child. Yes.
Many years, has he?
Yes. Yeah. He's about 12. And he says the only other person who works in the church is Jeska, and he digs the graves. He's the gravekeeper. Another young man, not much older than Milivoj. Quite a stern young man, quite strong and good at his work.
What was the saint called?
St Andrew.
Wait, was it Miloj?
The young altar boy is Milivoj, and the grave digger's Jeska.
Milivoj is the same age as me and Gut.
He's got to be the prime suspect, isn't he?
As this young boy, has he changed attitude in the last 6 or 7 days?
No.
Is he more eager to please, or any small signs that you might think?
No, if anything, he's been much happier since I told him. And as I say, I told him a good couple of weeks back, and the bones only went missing 6 nights ago.
That's a bit weird. Wait, did you say the gravedigger does know?
No.
The gravedigger doesn't know.
So you haven't got any other suspicions?
No, as I say, only myself and young Milivoj were the only ones that knew of this.
And was there some sort of tool or something used to lift this floorboard?
Something levered the floorboard. Or you can see like scuff marks or something was forced under and used to lift the boards up. And there's only a small little crypt there. It wasn't a full-eyed skeleton. It was a simple box underneath.
And you have investigated, and all the bones have gone, or
the whole box was gone. The whole box they were kept in.
That is troubling.
And that, as they say, is a wrap. Big thanks goes out to you, the listener, for taking a bit of time out of your day to listen to old Spike Pit. Take care, and I'll catch you later.